welcome back to my channel. This month's Makers with Heart video is about stash busting, and you can see here I have tons of leftover paper packs that are in my stash, and how I have them stored is just in our envelopes, and then up here I have the paper pack labeled. So I'm going to pick one of these and we're going to find something to do with it to work through our stash and clear out some of this mess. Okay, so I'm back at my desk and I chose the stash I had of Skylark. And the reason I did that is because Skylark, let me fix this, is available right now in the Bring Back My Pack incentive. So if you like this layout, then you can purchase Skylark still, or if you still have some, you can use that as well. So I'm going to use some pictures of my kids. I know I don't usually have pictures of my layouts, but I've been ordering pictures again, and so I do have those. So I got my kids' pictures. And then I went to the Make It From Your Heart Volume 6, and on page 27, I found this cute layout that I'm going to do. Because these are just little random one-off pictures I had of my kids, and they wouldn't really go on any other layout. So this will be perfect. I'll have one page for each of them. So in the Skylark collection, I had 2 full sheets of this page. So I'm going to be using, I don't even know, damask? Is this damask? I don't think it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. But that print. And then I had some of the craft paper in here, which I love craft. I don't think it gets used nearly enough. So I know I'm using those. Ooh, sorry. And then I don't know about the rest of this just yet, but this was my stash. So I'm going to, actually I'm going to take out these little embellishments that I had. I'm going to put the rest of it back in my envelope here, which these envelopes are fabulous, by the way. They're just our 12 by 12 paper envelopes. So ahead of time, I have grabbed 2 pieces of sage cardstock that I'm going to use. I grabbed a desert rose, and I think this was linen. And then I pre-printed a journaling thing on some vellum that I'm going to mount on to the linen cardstock for my journaling box. So let's get started. The first thing is, so I know I'm using craft as my background, so I'm not going to need that right away. And then it says, because you know we get the cutting diagrams in this book, and then of course the how to lay it out and where everything measures. So perfect. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut piece A, both of them, A and E, to 9 by 12. So grab my trimmer and cut these off at 9. I have actually been doing so many cards that I am way behind on my scrapbooking. So that is my goal for 2024, is to get caught back up on my scrapbooking. I still have 1.5 Disney trips to do. So those are from like 2018, 19. So this tells you how far behind I am. Okay, so those were cut. And then the next piece is going to be what I'm going to use sage for. And I need 2 of those cut at 10 by 10. Then I have some other trips we need to do. Like we spent a New Year's trip, I think in 2019. We took my son and went and toured the Hoover Dam, and then my husband and I have gone to the Grand Canyon, and there's just so many things that I haven't scrapbooked, and I need to get them, 1, off of my phone, and 2, into scrapbooks. So while I'm cutting this, I did take one of our, Close to My Heart has a photo organizer storage thing. I'll put a link to it in the video below. I assume it's still available. I didn't check. And I've been just putting those in there with some like transparent Post-it notes on the cover of it stating when and where. So that's going to help me when I go to scrapbook those. Okay, and then for C is going to be my journal like this. C, and then G is this. That's going to be my linen. So I need a 5. Let me get my linen. A 5.5 by 10 3/4. And the sage and the desert rose and this linen are not colors like on the zip strip that tells you the coordinating colors, but they're gonna match fine. I've already, you know, laid them out together. So you can use things that you don't, you know, like I didn't have any more of the bamboo or anything like that, which was a coordinating cardstock. So I'm making do. And then the other one is 5.5 by 8 3/4. I'm going to do the 8 3/4 first, so then I have a better piece of scrap paper for another project. Bigger chunk. And then 5.5. Yes. And then the photo mats, that is what I'm going to do in the desert rose. And that I need 7 1/4 by 5 1/4. So 5 1/4. Seven 1/4, and then 6 1/4. You know what? I didn't even measure my photos, so that's not going to work because my photos are 4 by 6. So I'm going to go 4.5. They were using their photos, so I'm going to go 4.5 by 6.5. I'm glad I caught that before we started assembling this. So then that will give me 1/4 inch around each one. So then 2 of these, 4.5. And these layouts in these Make It From the Heart books are so adaptable. You can obviously make them fit your needs, which is exactly what I am doing here with changing the photo mat sizing. So I will have these mounted like so. Okay, so that should be it for my cutting. You never know though. So the first page, I'm going to grab my craft. And we're going to add our, I think it's called damask. I don't know, you guys. Damask print from the Skylark pack. And I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of this. And it comes in 1.5 inches. So I can easily do that with my mat here. And then our sage, I'm going to use this side. And that one comes in 1/2 inch in. And it doesn't, interesting, it doesn't show me maybe I am missing it, but it's showing me that this will come in a 1/2 inch in, but it's not showing, oh, right there, 3.5 inches down, see? So a 1/2 inch, so it'd be, I'm sorry, that's not 3.5 inches. I was looking at the wrong thing. I'm on B. So it is 1 inch in and 1 inch down. So I'm going to straighten this up a little bit. 1 inch in and 1 inch down. Again, I should be using my T-square, but I never do. I just wing it. So then C, which is my linen piece. Remember, our cardstocks are double-sided. There's a light side and a dark side, so I was just looking to see which side I wanted to use. That one is the 1/2 inch in and 3.5 inches down, so that'd be 9.5. So roughly right there. Okay. Then we have our photo mat, our first photo mat. And I'm going to put, I think I'm going to put Bailey on this side. So I'm going to mat her onto here. And you can see how quickly this layout is just coming together. And then again, my measurements, because remember, I traded the sizing on this, so I'm not going to be able to do the measurements down and in that they show. So I'm going to just kind of put it where I think it will look good. So there's Bailey. I haven't embellished yet, but that's the page. I haven't, like I said, I haven't added any other embellishments. So now we're going to do the Tyler and Kyle page. So same thing, craft paper, using the Skylark paper. So this will come in, it's also, you know, it's going to be just like the other side, 1.5 inches in. My craft paper isn't solid on here, so we're going to go like this. Then we have our sage, and I really like these colors together. This one, 1 inch in, 1 inch down. I'm really thankful for this Makers with Heart challenge, because I didn't know what I was going to do with those photos. Like I said, they were one-offs, didn't really go with a layout or an event, so this will take care of that for me. And Bailey was in August and Tyler and Kyle are in September, so they can go together in my scrapbook. I do things chronological that way, so it will be fine. Then we get to this journaling one, and I have to put my journaling on top of it. And I want it on the darker side. And so I did this, I just cut a piece of vellum down to 8.5 by 11 because it was a 12 by 12 sheet. I then looked at my book here and saw that this piece was 5.5 by 8 3/4. Adjusted my margins to fit in that realm, and then printed it and trimmed it down to be the 5.5 by 8 3/4. So I believe, let me change this out, that this is for vellum. Sorry, had it going in wrong. So it's supposed to help make it so you don't really see the adhesive, but I think it's just broken and it's not going to come out, which is why I didn't have it being used anyway. So we're just going to see it. That's all there is to it. Okay, so I'm going to just put a little bit in each corner. And that's the tricky thing with vellum, is you end up seeing your adhesive, but if I'm doing something smaller, I'll run it through my Xyron. So then the whole back is covered and you can't really see the adhesive, but this is too big for my Xyron. I do have a larger one, but I don't want to use this. And looks like I need to trim a little off the top. Love these fine tip scissors. And you know, I can't really even see it that much, so it's not gonna bother me at all. Okay, so this goes on like right in here, and then we have Tyler and Kyle. And because now this is a landscape photo, it's not going to match the whole layout because they were using portrait. So I'm gonna have to figure out how to make this fit without covering up this. But I do have a lot of blank space here, and that's gonna be okay because I'm gonna add some embellishments on here. But I do want to see as much as my background as I can. I could do this. I just need to figure out how I want this on here. I'm going to put it that way. So then the journaling will pick up my daughter's photo on the other side. So I'm changing the layout out from what they had showed. And then I'm going to put some foam tape on the back of this one. Just use up these extra little pieces. Sorry, my nails make it hard to get the backing off of these sometimes. Okay, so now I still need to embellish, and I have these that actually came with the Skylar pack originally, and I think they would be really cute on this page with my daughter because it's flowers and the blue. I mean, that kind of clashes, I think. So I'm gonna put this here. Do her in some yellows. And actually the sage and this, I think it's juniper. Yeah, these were juniper, and they match really well. But that's all I'm going to do there. No, I'm still going to embellish more, but with those. And I'm not sure I'm going to put any of these on Tyler and Kyle because, well, I could put a bird. Put it up here on their journal box. And then maybe one of these at the bottom. Okay, other embellishments. Okay, so embellishing this page, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do, and I should have actually done this before I put anything down, but we're going to make it work. I'm going to use some desert sand ink. And then I pulled out an older stamp pad, the Stampin' Thin Cuts Beach Treasures, and I've got the sand dollar here. And what I'm going to do is try and find a piece of paper. I'm going to just random stamp some of these on here so that it's not just a blank area. So I'm going to put one kind of here. And then I've got this here so I don't stamp onto my vellum. And I'm going to go like this. Ooh, and see, that is the problem with doing this after the fact. I didn't get pressure on this, and I hope I'm lining it up. I didn't, but it will be okay. So I totally should have stamped these before putting any of this down on my layout. So we're just gonna have to go with it and make it work. I wasn't thinking ahead. And then, is there anything small on here? Yeah, there's some sand. So I have some sand. Take this off. And then I'm going to throw in one of these seashells. So I have sand and a seashell. Ooh, shoot. It's all right. And then I'm just going to put some sand in random places. I've got another stamp set I'm going to use as well. I just didn't like the how the birds and the flowers would have looked on a guy's page. So, and I'm going to bring it down here. Even though I'm going to stamp something else down here, I want to have the sand down here as well. This is just total random stamping. So then I'm going to grab this other stamp set that I pulled out, and it says, an ocean breeze puts the mind at ease. And I'm going to stamp that. In black. Where is my intense black? Gonna just stamp that right over our sand. Perfect. Okay, so I think that is it on Tyler's side of this layout. Got some seashells, got the journaling, and so that's the guy's side. Now the girl side, my daughter, it's got to be a little different because they're not at the beach, and got some Cricut cuts for that. Okay, so off camera, I made this little Cricut cut here. I found the Welcome Home in Design Space. I cut it twice out of our craft paper, and as you've seen some of the other makers do, I think, I can't remember which ones. I don't know who did it, but I know a couple of them do it, and I learned it from them. And so I cut it twice to give it a little bit of thickness, and our craft paper's got a different weight to it than our other cardstock anyway. So it's a little thicker, and then I just made an offset in Design Space. So I've cut that, and I'm going to take our clear shimmer brush and again, make sure it's primed. And I'm just going to go over the letters to give them a little sparkle. And then add this to the page. Love these shimmer brushes. I go through the clear the most. I'm on my third or fourth one, just I think in the last year. So kind of these pages are going to go side by side in the book, and the layouts themselves are going to match, but obviously the content does not. So I need to change things up a little bit to make it where they don't match. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry before I flip it over and put stuff on the back. But then I grabbed some melon shimmer trim. I know it's not Desert Rose, but it's gonna match good enough. I'm going to just add a little shimmer at the bottom of each of these, or the top and bottom of the picture, just to make it fun and sparkly. Because all girls like sparkle, right? I know my Bailey does, so I'm gonna put that there. And I just thought it looked a little plain because I didn't do any stamping on this side, so I wanted to add a little something. A little long, I gotta fix that. And then I'm going to add the zip strip from the Skylark pack along the side. I thought about putting it up top, but there's not one on the other side. It would look funny. There's journaling on the other side and not this side. So I'm going to put it here because it's perfect day. It's amazing. This happened, meaning the dog. Take note. I just think it's cute and goes with both the pictures. So I want them different, but you got to bring them together too. So I'm going to put that along the side here. I don't know if you can hear the wind, but it is crazy out there right now. When I came in my craft room, it was blowing snow and windy, and I'm glad I'm inside. And then because I did puffy tape on the guy's side, I'm going to do puffy tape on Bailey's side. Find some of it. Some. I was thinking, you know, up here, and I think for now, I'm just going to leave it because sometimes less is more. And I don't want to clutter the whole layout since it's going to be side by side with the other one that has the stamping. And hers has a lot of glitter on it. Okay, so there is my other page. Technically, it's the first page. And here's the second page again. So they will go side by side. I will put links to the product that's still available. Like I said, I chose Skylark because it is the Bring Back My Pack paper pack this month. And then, of course, I used the Make It From Your Heart Volume 6. Layout is on page 27. So I'll put links to the stuff I used that's still available. But since this was stash busting, I tried to use a bunch of stuff that I have sitting on my desk. And like, I don't think the Desert Sand ink is still available. And I know, I don't know, there's some things in here that I know are not available, but I will link to whatever is available. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you will click the subscribe button if you haven't yet. And I hope you will check out all the other Makers with Heart videos. Remember, we have a new maker this month. Her name is Mel from Mel's Stamping Gallery. So be sure to check her out and show her some love. And thanks for watching. And be sure and come back on the 25th when we do our Mystery Envelope Challenge. Have a great day.